Welcome to Soulbody Yoga with Helena. This is day 4 of our 21-day, 5-a-day challenge. So allow yourself to just make yourself comfortable and find your uprightness. So maybe you are sitting cross-legged, maybe you are sitting in Vajrasana, the kneeling position, maybe you are sitting on a chair. Whichever way you are sitting, just find your uprightness. Maybe even shuffle the sitting bones slightly back. And if you need to elevate your hips by sitting on something, and then feel your breath. Feel how your breath expands into space, expanding your body into space through your breath. Being fully present with every millisecond, every nuance of your breath, every change in the body. And find your center. Find the seat of your heart. Allow your breath to expand. Allow your out breath to release you, to soften you, giving your roots to earth, giving your weight to the support of the earth. Okay, and then come around onto your mat and come onto all fours. And like we did in one of the previous sessions, find a position where you can be completely straight, where your back can be completely straight, the hands under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. And then just tuck your hips under, rolling up the lower part of your spine, rolling up the middle part of your spine. Letting the head go, letting the head dangle. Breathing out fully. And then reversing the whole thing by taking the sitting bones up first and allowing the movement to travel up your spine. One vertebra at a time. Enjoy the space you are creating in your spine, between your vertebrae. And then start synchronizing this with your breath. So as you breathe out, you round your back up, finding the hill position, where your back looks like a hill. Making sure you really dangle the head. It is often so hard to let go of the head and not hold on anymore, so that we can loosen the shoulders and the neck. On the inhale, you take the sitting bones up, middle back comes down, and then the head comes up, but it is more a case of stretching the front part of your throat and pushing your chin slightly forward, rather than compressing the back of the neck. So you just create that spaciousness in the front of the spine. And then with your next out breath, you do this with you in your own rhythm, in the rhythm of your breath. You move the movement up your body. Notice if the movement flows smoother in some parts than in others. And see if you can allow the smoothness to transfer, to expand, by focusing on spaciousness between your vertebrae, by focusing on spaciousness within your body. And really letting that head go, so that the shoulders that have to carry so much weight for us every day can let go, can become light. Good. And then we're going to take one leg back, lift that leg, take it sideways forward, place it in front. We did that in one of the previous sessions, I believe it was on day 1. So take it forward and then moving forward and backwards, creating spaciousness in the hips. So we're mobilizing the hip joint, we're mobilizing the knee joint. And see if you can keep your back straight. If it is impossible to reach the ground with your hands whilst keeping the back straight, then you can take some blocks like these or 2 big books that you either use sideways or upwards. And then you can do the same thing, and it is much easier to keep your spine straight in this position. And again, synchronize with your breath. Make sure when you come forward that your ankle is underneath your knee rather than like this, because this also puts us more into an overarched back position. So keeping your spine in alignment and keep your head in line with the rest of your spine. And then stay back. So if you are using blocks or books like I am here, then as you stay back, you can find the uprightness of your body, and you can take your sitting bones slightly up, and then you should feel this really nicely in the hamstring. Keep the front foot relaxed. And I am going to take my sock off here so that I can be playful with this one and start to wriggle my toes, bringing spaciousness into the toes, into the foot. Slightly turning the foot inwards, feeling the stretch of the hamstring coming more to the outer hamstring. Taking the toes outwards, slightly outward rotating from the hip joint, meaning that the stretch will go into the inner fibers of the hamstring. And then come back to the middle and change around. So from all fours, nice straight back, lifting the leg back up, taking it to the side, coming forward, placing it forward. Take my sock off straight away. And then mobilizing first, either with the hands to the ground if that is available to you. And if not, you come onto your blocks and do it this way. Check again that your foot is in the right position, so you can adjust how far you go forward by the flexibility of your hip joint. And breathe. Allowing the in-breath to flow into the out-breath, the out-breath into the in-breath. Receiving your breath like the force of life. And then at some point when that feels right, you stay back, either on your block or on the ground. On the ground only if you are able to keep your back in a straight position. If this kind of thing happens just so that you can reach the ground, then it is better to find something that you can bring yourself into uprightness with. And then you can relax your foot down to the ground, just give it to gravity, let go of any holding. Take the sitting bones up if you're not feeling it in your hamstrings yet. Shoulders away from the ears, spaciousness in the neck. And then turning the toes slightly inwards, breathing into wherever you are feeling the stretch right now. Wriggle the toes. And you can find your own things to be playful with this one. You can even just shake the foot a little. Feeling the inner fibers, feeling the outer fibers, coming back to the middle. Shoulders away from the ears, lengthening the back of the neck. And then come back. And now we're going to walk the hands forward, tucking the toes under. You can come into a plank position. Make sure this is not the downward dog. We'll do that later. Make sure you are in the plank, so one line between your heels and your shoulders. If this is too hard for you, you can also put your knees on the ground. And this is an excellent exercise, even with the knees on the ground, to firm your abdominal muscles, your core muscles. So your postural muscles are working here. If this position is not hard enough for you, then you can lift one leg. And then take that down and lift the other leg. So adapt the pose to whatever is right for you. But make sure that your shoulders are away from your ears so that your neck or shoulders don't have to unduly tense up. And hold this for as long as you can. Good work. And when you wish, you can come up into the downward dog from here. Make sure you have your feet hip width apart. Bend your knees enough so you can keep your spine straight. And then relax your head down, taking the sitting bones as high up as you can. And then once you have your sitting bones up and your spine is straight, then you can see if you can straighten your knees a little more without losing the straightness of your spine. And enjoy this downward dog. Allow your head to fully hang down towards the ground. Allow it to dangle. You can even walk a little with your feet, taking one heel up at a time. Make sure your hands have no tension. Give your hands, your palms fully to the ground. And let your heels fully relax. They don't need to touch the ground. Engage your pelvic floor, pull your navel in and up, and dangle your head. Good work, well done. And then take your knees apart, toes together, and we'll go into child pose. And let's allow us to go into child pose slowly. If you need to, you can take a block or a bolster between your heels and your hips to make it feel better for you, or if it feels a little bit too tight on the ankles, then you can place something underneath the front of your ankle, so even a rolled up sock can often do the trick here, just to ease that off a little. And then you take your knees apart, your toes together, and then place your hands on the ground. Find a little movement in your spine. I'm going to turn this around so you can see me better. Find a little movement in your spine. Find the length in your spine. Really lengthen one vertebra at a time upwards. Tucking the chin in, lengthening the back of the neck. And find this beautiful alignment of your spine. As you inhale, you lengthen the spine, slightly pushing into the ground with your hands, or pulling the heels of the hands towards you to give yourself more lift. And then on the out breath, soften down a little more. And then again, inhale, enjoying the journey down into the child pose. Inhale, lengthen into the crown. Breathe out, soften. Enjoy that journey. So nice. Coming into a position of surrendering to earth. Allow yourself to not go for it straight away. to really take your time, really come into your body, into the experience, experiencing each part of this journey down, listening. Listening when your body needs to move and when your body feels comfortable just being. Listening to your breath. And once you arrive on the ground, then you can just let your head go. Bring your arms to a position where it is comfortable. Feel your breath expanding you. Feel your out breath releasing you. And surrender all your weight to earth. And surrender not just the physical weight, but also the weight that you sometimes carry on your shoulders or on your hips, the emotions you might be carrying for others or for yourself, where you have to function day by day. Just allowing all that to drop as you just go into this present moment, into the breath. Surrender does not mean resigning. Surrender means that you allow this present moment just as it is. Not rejecting, not fighting, just allowing whatever is, and then making the best of any situation that is there from that point of stillness, from that point of strength. So surrender as being empowering. Just you and your breath and the earth. And then slowly making your way up again. Enjoy that journey up. Again, maybe you want to sway a little with your spine, bring a little movement into your spine. For a moment, sitting on your heels, if that is okay for you. And then come up into a standing position by taking one leg up and standing up. Soften into your feet. Allow your hands to give themselves to earth, your shoulders to relax, lengthen the back of your neck. Soften your jaws, soften your eyes, feel your breath. Lift the solar plexus, drop your tailbone. And the moment you drop your tailbone, like this, the moment you drop there, you also soften your knees. And I'm going to invite you to take your arms up. And remember those invisible strings on your fingertips that allow you to feel everything beyond, everything your fingertips are pointing to. So the walls or the windows or the curtains or any plant. See if you can get a sense of touching it with your fingertips, as if you had invisible long feelers on your hands. And your palms are facing the front, and you start feeling what sensations you are feeling on your palms, receiving this moment. If your hands, if your palms were eyes, allow them to gaze at the future with love. And then bring the hands a little closer to each other. Until one palm senses the presence of the other palm. So allow your hands to really feel towards each other. And at some point you feel that the energy maybe slightly changes and you start feeling the other palm. And then bring this warmth that's emanating from your palm to your heart. And then imagine that the heart is a force that is expanding into your hands. Expanding the arms out. This is our meditative movement. And then pointing to the front, which signifies your future. Then connecting on the horizontal realms to other people. And then coming back forward again. Bringing it into the heart. Keep your feet soft. Soften your feet into earth. And into the heart. Expanding the heart. A force that pushes the hands away, that they spiral outwards. And then feeling into this present moment, in the horizontal realm. The space that connects us to others. And now, do the same movement, but one hand is going forward and one hand is going backwards, staying about shoulder level or below. And when the hands reach the front and the back in one line, then you spiral in, turning the palm towards the heart and come in, meeting the heart with one hand and the other. And as you can see here, I'm not that high, I'm not craning anything there. I am just facing the heart with a soft palm, as if I'm holding a soft baby bird. And then extending into the space, pointing to infinity with my front hand, with my back hand, and coming round. And doing the same to the other side, spiraling in. Meeting the heart, extending out, one hand pointing to the future, one hand to the past, connecting with the ancestry, now with the other hand in the back, connecting to the future, coming into the heart, this moment, meeting. Meeting all the people that are coming in our future, meeting all the people that have been in the past, meeting all the people that are in the present moment, and coming back round again. So taking the richness and wisdom from all of time as one, being present just with time as it is. There are many philosophies that say that time is not linear, that everything exists all at once. So see if you can get a feel of this. Your ancestries, old friends that have been in the past, maybe even people you have been in disagreement with, and you stay in your center, you stay in your equanimity as you expand your heart into space, like the sun shining onto everything, if there are no clouds in the way. And the clouds are our thoughts. So allowing yourself to just be present and empty, and feeling the heart expanding into the palms and coming back again. Expanding and coming back to the self. We will do one more of these. And as you do it, really feel with your fingertips into space. Imagine you are touching everything your fingers are pointing towards. Allowing the warmth of your heart, appreciation and gratitude to expand into your heart. And then soften into space to others, all helpful friends. And slowly come back down. Relax your shoulders, your knees. And then gradually bring your weight from one foot to the other. This is the last thing we will do for today. And then we will do some breathing. From one foot to the other. Maybe you can even do this with closed eyes. And then open your eyes if you had your eyes closed, noticing what happens in the body when you have your eyes closed, what happens in the body when you have your eyes open. How is the body compensating for you closing your eyes, and what structures in the body do you have to hold a little more when your eyes are closed? And then at some point just allow yourself to sink onto your right leg, soften it into the ground, and take the other leg up, not with your hand, just wherever it will go naturally. It doesn't matter how high it goes, just where it is comfortable for you. Keep your hip open to the front. Remember those headlights. If I had headlights here, if I was a car, the headlights need to point to the front, to where I'm facing. Notice if there's any gripping in the standing foot. Relax the toes, soften into your roots, pull the navel in and up, engage the pelvic floor, and then either taking the hands into space. This is the easier position because I can allow myself to just imagine that there is a grid I'm resting my hands onto. If you wish, you take your hands to the heart, into your center, or connecting to all that which is above. Make sure if you're taking the hands above that your shoulders are down, not up here. Spaciousness between the shoulders and the ears, and the arms are long. Fingertips are held by those invisible strings. And listen to your breath. Find your stillness within. If you find balance hard, see if you can keep your head upright. So even if I'm losing my balance, if I'm keeping the head upright, then I'm going to be able to regain the balance. As soon as the head tips, it is much harder. Notice if you're holding any tension anywhere. And then just breathe into that area. And then slowly coming out, gracefully putting that foot down. And relax. Feel what you're feeling. Notice what you notice. Your eyes are soft, your jaws are relaxed. And then gradually bring your weight onto the other leg, your left leg. Soften the standing knee. Pull the navel in and up. Engage the pelvic floor. So all the muscles woven in on the inside of your pelvis. Engage as many of them as you can, and the firmer you have your core there, the easier it will be to balance. Notice already if there is gripping in the toes of the standing foot, and see if you can extend the toes to increase your foundation. And then when you feel ready, you take that leg up to wherever it will go naturally. Rest your hands onto that grid. Open your pelvis so your knee points sideways as much as possible and your headlights are facing forward. Remember, pulling the navel in and up, lifting the solar plexus, relaxing the shoulders down. Lengthen the back of your neck. And then find the position that you want to be in with your hands. Of course, if you need a wall to hold on to for now, please do. Make it accessible for you. Remember, if you take your hands up, shoulders away from the ears. And breathe. Find your inner stillness. If you enjoyed closing your eyes earlier, you can try to close your eyes standing like this. That would be an extra challenge. And slowly taking the hands out. Gracefully put your foot down. Stand in your center. Notice what you notice. And then find a position that you can do some breathing with me in, either on a chair, in a kneeling position, or sitting cross-legged. You can even lie down if you wish. If you find that there is some tension in your hips when you're sitting cross-legged, you can always put something underneath the knee, something maybe a little more than this, a bolster or a cushion. So like this, that would be advisable. Then the hip flexors can relax. Take the flesh away from the sitting bones. Find your uprightness and observe your breath for a moment. And then slightly constrict as you breathe the back of your throat. We're going to do Ujjayi breath, which is the calming breath. So your breath sounds like waves coming and going. And you are listening from the bottom of the ocean to those waves foaming at the top. And allow that out breath to really relax you, allowing you to let go. No straining, just seeing if you can slightly extend your out breath. However, if you want to energize yourself, then you can accentuate the in-breath. If you want to achieve more balance, then you make your in-breath just as long as your out-breath. Notice the gaps that are in between the phases of the breath. And you can connect to your heart to find that inner space of gratitude. Gratitude for all the little things that life gives you every day. The beautiful green of the trees, the sound of the birds, or the sound of the rain. That you have a bed to sleep in. What else can you be grateful for in your life? As you breathe, even gratitude for your breath. Gratitude for everything that is working well in your body. Gratitude for the force of life coming in through your breath. Very good. Bring that to an end. Breathe out, and after your next out breath, take your hands to the heart. I wish you a lovely day or a lovely night. Namaste. Well done for doing your day 4 challenge.